Right here, we do have SINO on alert 363 because we are looking for the stock to continue to move on up right here, and we are getting some heat back towards this play for a possible next leg on up. You could see some nice heat coming towards it. Again, watch for that 388 break now on SINO. We do have this nice wedge form. We did play the red to green move this morning. Now breaking back above 360, we can see the stock continue to move on up. So SINO on alert still. This is your #1 stock, and we are looking for a high of the day breakout coming up in the next few moments. So this is a very nice play. We haven't had a nice big breakout yet, and this came out with great earnings today. Great earnings today, where the stock can really continue to move on up, can get a very big pop, can get a nice big breakout. And I want you guys to be ready. So on alert on SINO 363, and you guys are good to honestly continue to hold this. You guys are good to continue to hold this on SINO. Good to continue to hold this very nice big rip coming on up. It is coming up towards around the high of the day, 387, I believe is. I believe that's the high of the day, SINO 387. Now, a break of that, we could definitely see up towards around that $4 mark. Remember, $4, though, is pre-market highs. $4, right, actually 407 is pre-market highs. So far, nice big break, 360 all the way up towards a high around 385. And this is very predictable, guys. Right at the break on our alert at 363. Now we're looking for the stock to continue to move on up. It does have the volume towards it to go on that next big leg. We have to break through 387. Again, our first alert on our alert box right here, guys, is 363, right up to that 380 mark. So again, this is all areas where you can definitely look to lock in. Break of 387, though, could be your next leg on up. Break of 387, though, could be your easily your next leg on up. And there is some good activity, some consolidation. Again, if you guys were watching the news this morning on SINO, this is why I played it this morning. This is why I played it this morning on SINO, made $100 on it. SINO announces fiscal year second quarter financial results. And what we have right here, we have a lot. You know, total revenues increased 33%, gross margin 83%. Net income for the second quarter was 0.8 as compared to the net loss of 1.6 million, so that's good. Earnings increased 161%. There's a lot of big time potential on this play, guys, and there's no long-term debt on this company. You know, there is a lot of big time potential on SINO, so I would definitely watch for that breakout. And here we go, guys, on the continuous run on SINO, and you guys can continue to hold on this play. You guys are good to continue to hold on this play. You can also look to get in on this play if you guys would want to as well. And your next sell target would probably be up towards around 410. Next sell target would probably be all the way up towards around that 410 mark. Again, if you would like to hop in at 390 right here, there is big time potential for that stock to continue to move on up and be a nice ripping stock. So again, if you want to hop in, I'll put an alert, again, another alert at around this 390 mark, and then I would look for a sell target around that 410. Stop loss, I'd probably put around 374, but SINO, that stock definitely has continuous power to, get a nice big rip, get a nice big run, and push the stock all the way on up. So, great job so far on SINO. Watch for the $4 break coming on up, guys. And this stock is continuing to move right here. Some nice big potential. Now, next thing you want to look out for is going to be that 410 resistance, which is from pre-market. That 410 resistance, which is from pre-market, which is going to hold the stock on up a little bit. So that is your next sell target if you want to look at this play, right near that 410 resistance. But again, be a smart trader, use your head. Definitely don't force anything that's not going to be there or hop in on something that's not going to be there. So, SINO so far, definitely a lot of big time potential towards this play, and watch for this stock to get a nice big rip, coming on up. Break of 410. Next up would be all the way up towards around 425. If you just want to slowly keep locking in shares, you could definitely do that. But here comes 410 probably in the next few seconds. hopefully, as we could definitely see the stock, move on up. Again, we have a high of the day on SINO. High is 407, right below 407. 40, there's 407 right there. So here's 409, and here's pre-market high, guys. So here's pre-market high right here, 411. Definitely a nice area to definitely look to lock in. But SINO so far, this is our play, guys. This is the play I voted on to be the best stock today. The earnings was absolutely huge. The stock can continue to move on up as well. It's up 50% to start the day. You guys should be killing it right now. I want everyone green on this day. I want everyone green on SINO right now. And this stock definitely has a room to run. Moving along, guys. Moving along. Next chart resistance. Chart resistance was, right. We're kind of breaking that mark right now. If we can get above 415, this stock has big time potential to rip. Look at December 16th, December 15th, and then we have this kind of cluster back here within the last week of November. So it really needs to break this mark, and you could see pre-market high right along this 410 mark. That's definitely going to be a factor trying to hold the stock on up. A little bit of volume coming on through. This stock could be a big time breakout play today. Make sure you guys watch that. A little bit of volume coming on through. This stock could be a big time breakout coming on through. But right now, we do have resistance, not on alert. Again, we had alerts at 361 from this morning. This is what I played, the red to green move. Then we had SINO on alert again at 363, and we also just had it on alert again at 390 for the stock to move all the way up towards around that 410 sell target. I want you guys making money, guys. I want you guys to be green. I want to see you guys be consistent in the market. We're not chasing everything that's left and right. We're playing the stocks that we know that are going to be breaking out. Predictable plays that are going to be our easy shot. Be a stock sniper, guys. Look for these easy plays. Great earnings report. We had the nice big U-shaped breakout pattern, and this honestly could be our big time runner today throughout the whole entire day if SINO gets a nice little break. Right now it is having a little bit of trouble right along these pre-market highs, but if we break this mark, guys, this stock could easily go on a big time rip. If we break this mark, this stock could easily go on a big time rip. And again, I'm fired up and I'm happy for everyone who's made some money so far on SINO. You guys definitely deserve it. But right now we are coming back on down. If it does come back down, we'll look for a bounce at around 385. $4 is going to be a natural support level. $4 is going to be a natural support level because it's a nice round hole number, so we could definitely see some bouncing. But looking at chart pattern, we have 385, then all the way back down towards, of course, 375 natural support. Right now, it's holding $4, and we are looking for that next leg on up. Now, SINO, guys, this could be your big time breakout today. This could be your big time breakout stock today if it breaks through 411. So again, your next probably buy alert would probably be through 415. So probably 416 would be the next buy alert, and then you could look all the way up towards around that 430-ish mark. So guys, that could be coming on up soon, and SINO is starting to get that rip right now. SINO is starting to get that rip right now. You can see it's starting to move on up. Here's the big time money maker, guys. Here's the big time money maker. Getting this play moving, and I love it. I love it, guys. This is what I'm talking about, Money Monday right here. Playing for the nice easy plays, the predictable plays, and this is the one I want you guys cashing in on. Again, I just want to look after you guys, show you guys which plays I see is the most predictable, see which plays I think are the most profitable. Right now, we're hitting 425 resistance, but that thing's breaking on down. There's 430, continuing to go, baby. This is what I love to see. Shout out to you guys. Make that money today, guys, and you guys should be banking at the moment. Again, we've had a couple different alerts on this play so far. SINO 361, 363, 390, and 416, right up to these beautiful levels so far. And that is exactly what I want for you guys to make this easy money. So I want you guys banking right here at this moment. Right now, no alert on SINO, no alert on SINO, but we have just had a very, very nice run so far on this play. This was a very, very nice run on this play. Exactly what we wanted to see to get this thing going. We were waiting for a nice big breakout, waiting for a nice big move, guys. SINO, if this stays above 430, this should easily. If this stays above 430, this should easily run up towards around that 450 mark on SINO. So as long as it stays above this 430 mark, should easily run up towards around that 450 if you guys are still in for your next sell target. That is where these upper shadows, though, of 1130, 1129, 1128 are, though, around that 450 mark. But what a great climb so far to kick off this day on SINO. alerts all the way from this red to green move way back here, and then also from the breakout, the nice big breakout that which was our number one pick for right here. This nice so far around 360 all the way up towards around 440, about 80-cent climb on this play. Right here, we are trying to hold this little bit of a trend line. We'll see if we get our next leg on up, but we've had 4 alerts so far. Alerts at 361 from this morning for a nice rip up to 380. Then we had 363, which is right here. We had 390, and then we also had 416 all the way up towards that 440 high of the day. Right now, we do not have any sort of alerts on this play, but what you want to focus on would be this trend line. What you want to focus on next would be this trend line, and you want this trend line to continue to hold if you are looking to play this stock. When this trend line cracks, that is when the stock's probably going to go back down to $4 support. So that's the main things you want to focus on going into this play right here. And we are coming up towards around that 450 mark right now. We're coming right up towards around 450, new high of the day on SINO. So we are bouncing off that trend line, which is a great thing to see on SINO. Still bouncing off that trend line. Great thing to see on SINO. You can see shippers, guys, are really starting to move. Shipping stocks are the ones that are really starting to move right now. So very happy for everyone who's taking full advantage of these plays. ESCA is also one you want to add to that list as well. It's a shipping party today. We have ESCA, we have SINO, we have DCIX, we have DRYS, we have GLBS. It's a big shipping fiasco today, guys. So this is what is moving. These are the stocks you really want to focus on. All the shippers are moving on up simultaneously right now, and SINO is kind of their fearless leader at the moment. Let's look at some charts, though. Let's look at some charts real quick. Stockcharts.com. And let's see what we have on SINO. But nice big breakout today. Very, very exciting. So SINO, just bringing the chart over for a second so you guys can look at this. 13 EMA isn't really important on this because it's way below, but I still want you guys noticing it, or at least getting in the habit of always having it on. So we could see 200-day moving average on SINO all the way on down. So we are above that on the bullish. 13 EMA gapped above it, 50-day, above it. Now it has a 76 on the RSI. 76 is the thing you just want to be concerned about. 76 on the RSI. Coming up to $5 resistance. That's going to be the next little tough area. $5 resistance. So again, SINO, I'm personally not buying up at these levels, as I already told you. Let's just see if it's going to hold on up. But we are going to be getting into the reasoning on these lessons within the next few minutes, guys. We're going to be getting into the reasoning in these the next few minutes, so you guys are all set and ready to go on that. And actually, it's starting to come back on down right now. So let's actually go into this. Let's go into SINO and let's talk about why this stock is moving the way it is. Let's talk about why the stock is moving the way it is. It's on a beautiful uptrend so far today. So SINO, why did I choose this stock to be the #1 stock of the day? Why did I pick this stock saying, hey, this stock was going to be the #1? Simple enough, guys. Why do we always look at plays? It's either because it has a great chart pattern or it has a great press release towards it. So what did we see on SINO today? Very simple enough. We bring up our new streamer, and you guys could see SINO had a beautiful earnings report. We are in earnings season right now, guys, so earnings is definitely going to be something you really want to focus on. And just look how nice this earnings report is. Once we bring it up right here, you can see, as we already said, the 2017 second quarter operating financial highlights. We have revenue increased 33%. Gross profit margin increased to 83%. Net income loss, I believe, was 0.8 compared to a net loss of 1.6 million. So again, they're losing less. That's very good. What we have increased 161%. The company holds no long-term debt, which is absolutely awesome. No one likes debt at all, if that is a company or if that is, a regular college kid coming out of school. No one likes debt at all. No matter what debt it is, that's never good. So having no debt at all, that is obviously a very good thing to see. So we have a great earnings report right there that got this stock kind of on our radar this morning. Now, why did we play the stock, though, this morning? Again, our first alert this morning was all the way back right here at 363, or at the break of 361. This is where I got in at the break of 361, and I played it all the way on up, for our first alert, which was 361, all the way up towards around that 385 mark. And why did we do that, guys? SINO, that was on the pure fact that this stock was on a red to green move. Red to green move is one of the most predictable patterns in penny stock trading. It's one of the most predictable patterns in the stock market. Again, if you don't know what the red to green move is, go to dekmartrades.com, click video library, and you guys can go ahead and check that out. So SINO, red to green move, very nice. As you could see, unfortunately, we couldn't get that big time rip right at the start of the day. Now, why could we not get the big time rip at the start of the day? All the volume was on ZSAN. Now, basically, the penny stock market, guys, it's a competitive world full of pumpers, dumpers, volume, buyers, sellers, shorters, and everything in between. So seeing ZSAN bringing in this morning hype right here, everyone who was looking at, SINO turn towards ZSAN. They say, oh, this stock's moving on up. Why didn't we play ZSAN? It met its primary endpoints, had a great press release. The gap up was too big. The stock gapped up way too high. It wasn't going to be making a nice big time run. It wasn't going to be, consistent enough. Gap and goes usually do not hold up very well. You could see it came back on down. Once this stock started coming back on down, SINO started going back on up because it's a competitive world, guys. Everyone just wants to make money in the penny stock market. That's all everyone wants to do. And again, 80% of people, guys, who don't know what the hell's going on in here, those are the people that are going to be running all over the place like the chicken with their head cut off, trying to find where the money making is. We know where the money making is going to be, guys, because we're playing predictable chart patterns. We're playing predictable plays. Credibility is everything in the penny stock world, guys. We're not going to be that 80% that's running around having no idea what's going on, chasing plays that just get the movement. SINO, we picked this, again, new high of the day right now on SINO as we are continuing to speak about this. $5 is resistance line coming on next, guys. Third strongest resistance line in penny stocks. $1 is the strongest, $10 is the second strongest, $5 is the third strongest. So make sure you guys are having some sell targets around $5 if you guys are still in this stock. Again, so far today, we've had 5 different alerts on SINO at 361, 363, 390, and 416. We had another one at 390 as well. So right now, we basically, again, have been alerting the bottom. As the stock climbs up higher and higher, it's harder for us to say go ahead and get on alerts because we are only getting higher in percentages. The higher we move on up in percentages, guys, means that the stronger resistance lines are going to become. The more selling that is going to be happening, the more shorters that are going to move on in. So that is why early bird gets the worm, guys. You want to get that nice big worm, that big juicy worm that's going to fill you up with profits. You got to be willing to get in when the stock's at 16, 15, 10% and sell up when it's up near 78%. And that's what, why do you think we don't have any more buying alerts? We are just telling you guys, basic areas to sell. What do you think other chat rooms are going to be doing? Talking about areas to sell. What do you think individual traders are going to be doing? Looking at areas to sell. People who are going to start buying right now when it's already up 80% on the day are usually the people that are going to get crushed. Now, could this get all the way up to $10, let's say? Yes, hypothetically, it can get that high, but you don't want to just force anything that's not going to be there, or hop in late, because can it work out? Yes, but if you chase stocks on everything, guys, that's when you're really going to get hurt. That's when you're going to lose your account. Can it work out sometimes? Absolutely. You can make a ton of money sometimes, but other times you will get hurt, and it's all about getting in early. That's why I trade in the mornings, guys. And if I don't get in right when right at the start, if I don't get in at the start of the breakout, I'm not going to trade at all. So that is what I always want you guys to look at. SINO, great big big play today. And again, my first trade on the day on SINO was all the way right here at 360 for the red to green move. Very nice pattern. Then it started fading because ZSAN started taking all the potential away from it. Then once ZSAN started dying off, people were saying, hey, you know what, SINO, this stock has great earnings. Why did we ever leave it? We didn't. We were sitting here. We had another buy alert right at 360. Same exact buy alert as we had before, 361, and then we had another buy alert right here at 362 for a nice big rip on up. And again, if we got this rip, this is where we were going to get our supernova, our parabolic move to get this thing really crushing. So that is what we really wanted to see, and we had this nice U-shaped breakout pattern. Again, video library, guys, dekmartrades.com. You guys go. We teach you guys the U-shaped breakout pattern. Look where the volume comes in, guys. Look where this volume comes in. It comes at the break of the open. Opening is resistance. Where do we buy stocks? We buy at the break of resistance. Buy at the break of resistance. Boom, baby. Volume's coming on in. We get nice big rips. We get nice big climbs. With this hot momentum that's moving on in, it's literally just nonstop buying alerts, rapid fire. You got the buy alert going. You guys can continue to hold this stock on up. What else did we like about SINO today, guys? What else did we like about SINO? Yes, had great earnings. Yes, has a beautiful climb. Yes, there's a lot going on. I like the chart pattern, though. I definitely enjoy this chart pattern towards this play, and I think there's a lot of healthy, great stuff about this chart pattern. Now, what is that? Well, number one, when you look at this pattern, what do you see? I see this giant spike right here that went from 92 cents all the way up to 14.50. Now, that's getting traders excited. That gets me excited. It's Monday morning right now. I'm fired up. Most people get excited for Fridays. I'm excited for right now, Monday. And you could see because this came out with a great earnings, and it has a great past chart pattern. So, how does this get us excited? Because other traders are going to see this as well. And they're going to say, hey, you know what? Back in November 15th, this thing went on a monster run. Hey, why couldn't that do that right now? If we look at like some garbage stock that has never ripped before, just kind of looking through, let's see if we can just, if we look, RELV actually has a little bit of a spike right here. Let's see if we just find one really quickly, because sometimes there's stocks that have no sort of spikes at all. GWRS, right here, if we just this doesn't really have any big time predictable spikes. It's kind of just random. Yes, it did move up, but it's not like any sort of big time predictable spikes. SINO, the first thing we click, we see this massive run right here. So this gets traders excited, of course. Seeing SINO, seeing this big time rip. It has past chart history spiking potential. It has 7 million in float. That means it has a lower float, which is the shares offered to the public. When you have a lower float and a high demand, that means a lot of people are buying something that has a very low supply of. That is when we're going to get a nice big rip. Simple economics, guys. When you have a low supply, a high demand, it causes chaos. And that is basically what we have today on SINO. We have this chaos, which is just ripping and getting a lot of big time potential towards these plays. So SINO has this nice big low float, has a great past chart history pattern. Let's look at the indicators, guys. The indications, what are we going to be focusing on? Well, what we have right here, stockcharts.com, my indicators I always look at, these top 3, 13 EMA, 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average. What do we have? Well, we had a nice gap up this morning above 200, above 13, above 50-day moving average. We had our nice big red to green move, which was nice. That was my money maker. And then we came back down, bouncing off 50-day moving average, guys. Bounce off the 50-day moving average. Where are we going to go from there? Most likely up. And that is exactly what happened. So we opened up today around that 350, I think it was 358 exactly, came back down to 320, bounced off the 50-day moving average, U-shaped breakout pattern, kaboom, we got our nice big rip all the way up towards around 478, $5 high of the day so far, touching that resistance line. Also, we opened up the day with around a 53 on the RSI. We are all the way up towards around a 76, which indicates us being overbought. But at the same time, guys, it was a great chart pattern and decent RSI this morning above all the indicators which usually hold us down. These are the indicators that usually hold us down. If we just type in a random stock, EBIO, let's say, you can see we come up to 200-day moving average, we get brought down. Come up to 200, we get brought down. Come up to 50, we get brought down. You want to find a stock, of course, that is going to be above all those indicators, and that's why when we saw SINO come up on the pre-market scanner this morning, this was the stock I voted for having the best rip today, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Above everything, there's nothing holding this down. There was a little bit of past chart history resistance, but other than that, though, guys, we are good to go. So again, we've had a few different alerts. SINO right at the start of the day right here at 361. Nice big pop. Came back on down. It was about a 20-cent rip. Very nice. Came back down. Volume started dying off on ZSAN. Volume started moving back to SINO. Where's our second alert? Break of 363. Very nice for this big time volume coming in, which was going to be predictable at the old high of the day, breakout mark, which, we played exactly before, about an hour before this. Then on SINO, again, we started moving on up. We had the 390 break, which we said, 410 would be a nice area to sell, and then also 420. Then also we had a little bit of a pullback where we said, hey, watch out for 416 break, and then we moved all the way on up, came in all the way up towards around $5. So, $5 is the strongest resistance line in penny stocks, guys. It's third strongest. We have $1, $10, then $5. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. But what a great job so far on everyone who's playing SINO. I could not be more happy for you guys, and very, very exciting stuff as well. going through profit chat. I could not be more happy and more excited for everyone who has been locking in some nice profits so far today. And it definitely fires me up to see, you guys make such easy money in such a short amount of time just by playing these simple alerts that we've had on the alert box.